Okay, while I've finished the lace shaping on my camisole and I'm soaking it now, so before you start finishing, like cutting the fabric on the back side and all of that, you need to soak out any of the markings and the glue base that you have on there. So while that's soaking, I wanted to show you how to miter lace, how to shape lace along a scallop. And generally for a scallop, you don't need a double line to follow, you just need the outside line. So again, we're going to start by pinning the outer edge of our lace a little bit at a time, every little half inch or so. That's not even a pin. Here we go. I'm going to go around this curve, following it as closely as I can to get a smooth edge. And when I get to the peak of the scallop, I'll show you a little miter magic. Okay. Just takes a little bit of pinning. I'm almost there. And you'll miter the corner before you pull the inner thread. Okay, I'm right there. I'm going to pull this thread later, but I'm right there at the peak. I'm going to be starting another scallop right here. And I've drawn a straight line where my peak is. So what you want to do is let that lace naturally lay, have a tail naturally laying up, and you're going to put a pin right here at the other end of the lace. And then what you're going to do is fold it back on itself like this. See what I've done? And I'm going to repin it right there at the tip, just like that. Now I'm going to bring that lace around, and I'm going to start pinning. Let me get it pinned out of the way at a slant, and I'm going to start pinning the next scallop. So you see how beautiful and neat that is? Now when you sew this, you'll stitch on this side, and then you'll pivot and you'll stitch down, and you'll stitch all of the bottom edge, and you'll come back and you'll stitch all of the top edge. Then you'll zigzag across this fold edge, and on the back side, when you cut away the fabric from behind the lace, this little triangle showing here, I don't know if you can see that, you're going to be cutting that little triangle off. So don't worry about sewing over that. So while we're here, let me show you how you pull. You're going to have a lot of scallops, so you won't necessarily always have an end to pull from. So I'm going to pull a header thread right out from the center of the curve. Let me get this started. There we go. And you see what happens there when I pull that? It just gathers it up, and then you pull on that, and then you can start pinning again, pinning your curve and moving these little gathers around, distributing them along that edge. And when you starch and press that, it'll all flatten out and draw up together, and you'll have a nice pretty lace scallop, and you'll have a mitered corner. So just let me show you how to do this one more time, because mitering can be kind of confusing. We've come along, here is our line, here's the point of our scallop. We let the lace fall naturally to like a tail, just coming off the end of that. We're going to put another pin up here on this drawn line. Then we're going to fold the lace back on itself, stopping where this pin is, so you have this little extra here. Then we're going to reinsert this pin to catch both headers of the lace there. Bring this around and continue working on our scallop like this. So there you go. That's how you miter a corner. Okay, I have soaked the markings out, and this is still wet, and I rolled it in just a white towel, a bath towel, to wring out, to just squeeze out some of the extra water. So I wanted you to see, I've ironed this side. You see how nice and flat it is? And you see how bubbly this is? For people that are kind of new to this, it can be a little disconcerting to finish all this work and go, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? But I wanted to show you, don't worry, you just need to take, kind of stretch that out a little bit as you iron, and just iron carefully, and it'll all come back to shape. And two, another thing is you're like, well, what about this? Am I going to lose my shape? It's like, no, you're not going to lose your shape. You just have to keep working with the fabric and kind of stretch it and pull it a little bit to give it a nice flat edge. And I'll show you how this will come back to life. You see, I'm just using my fingers and I'm doing it a little bit at a time, working from the center out. I worked from the center to this side, and then I'm working from the center to the other side. And see how pretty that is? I just, you know, when you've done it, when you pull it out of the water, you will just panic and go, oh no, I've ruined my piece, but you haven't. You really haven't. It just looks a little, you know, bedraggled when you wash it and then you dry it. But see, now it's all pretty. Now when you've got it at this nice flat ironed out state, and of course again your embroidery is going to be in here. Starch that real good. Now look, it wrinkled again. That's fine. I'm going to work from the center, working this way. Mainly I want that starch to make this stiff again because I'm going to remove the fabric from behind that, and I want my lace to be nice and stiff to hold its shape, because what's supporting it right now is the fabric. But where I'm going to remove the fabric when I do the windows, there won't be any support back there, so I want to make sure it's nice and stiff. Now let me lift this up. You see how pretty that is?